we are halfway in the season so far.
Really?
19 games for some teams, 20 games for others. What are your thoughts about the season in total? How has it treated you?
I mean, it's surprising to say the least, and it was actually I want to say it's very entertaining because there's a lot going on. There's a lot that we expected that didn't happen. Um, Also, that Man City, not coming in first and being the run of form that they're in, being in third is a surprise in itself. So I want to say this year for this season 23-24 has been surprising.
Interesting,
Yeah,
and definitely it's been holding my attention.
for sure. It's
It
going to be a good
hasn't.
one,
It
I
had,
think.
yeah, for sure. Well, if it finishes how it started, it
Mm.
definitely is going to be a great season to remember. So far we're gonna go over. So far it's been half the season. We're gonna go over the teams and how they play. We're gonna go over um their half of the season so far, and we're gonna give them grades, and we're gonna put them in tiers. So we're gonna say S tier if you're having like the best possible season you can have, A tier if you're having a great season, B tier if you're having a great season, C tier if things are up in the air, but things are going, D tier if you could be doing a little better, and F tier if things are not going.
You're a failure.
Yeah, F for failure. All right.
Exactly.
Um, we'll do it in a way where we can stay very organized. We'll start from the bottom of the table,
Mhm.
and we'll work our way up, and we'll just talk about the teams, and we'll see where they lay in terms of the season, and what kind of signings they can make to make their season better.
Okay. Are we giving the bottom three their own tier or no?
I thought about that, but nah, I feel like we need to judge them according to how we're judging everybody else. It's unfortunate because there is a gap, but
There is a
we
huge gap.
yes, there is a big gap, but we need to hold the teams accountable to the way we graded the other teams as well.
All right, fair enough.
All right, so we'll start at the bottom, 20th place, Sheffield United. Tell me about it, man. What is
Sheffield
their
United, man. Honestly, they are the least, I mean, the worst team in the Premier League. They are complete garbage. I'm sorry to say. The gap is big. Um, but I can't sit here and tell you I'm surprised because I had them bottom three. So I'm going to go ahead and just tell you my bottom three and just get it out the way. Oh, I'm sorry if this conflates with your plan, but I'm just going to say the bottom three.
you're
Just
gonna give the ratings for the bottom three teams?
ratings, everything that I have to do, just bang it out because they're all pretty much in the same
They are very similar.
similar, yeah.
Yeah.
So Sheffield United, I don't even know where to start with this one.
50 goals conceded.
50,
Uh
no, 49 conceded. Only
50, I mean, come on.
no, I mean might
They're
as
right
well, right?
there.
Yeah,
They're right
right.
there.
15 goals for. They definitely, and on top of that, I think I don't know if they have the most red cards, but I know Oli McBurn had 2 red cards. And I think that's one of his key players. Um, uh, I don't know, man. I give them all D tiers, C to D. I can't. They're underperforming, but then again, I expect them to be there, so I give them all C or D. But if I was going to be inclined, I'll stick to D for
I
Sheffield
gave
United.
them I gave them an F tier.
F.
Yeah, only because this is what we expected for the teams, but we have to be real. Being in the relegation zone is not, and being this far separated from the other teams, it's not a great thing. And I D is like a 60. I don't think this is a 60. This is
No, it's failing. If
yeah,
anything,
exactly.
if
This is not
65 was passing, give them 60.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
It's a tough
failure.
one. It's a tough one to for me. It's a tough one to think that that you can give him a D. Give him a pity D. But like
If I was them, I would buy maybe an attacker that's explosive and that can create chances.
you're
Because
talking about any of the three teams.
well, right now I'll just stick to Sheffield United. I think they should invest in someone that because up top it's very stagnant and there's no creation being made. So I would say maybe on a short loan deal because it's very hard to find a person that would join the bottom three. I would say maybe Adama Traore, who has not getting minutes in Fulham, could get you on a loan and maybe create something, something different in your attack that, they desperately need.
That's a decent shout,
Yeah,
actually.
that's
I,
what I would say. Dom Traore on a short loan, but other than that, I don't know who's gonna go to Sheffield.
yeah, it's tough to find players that are gonna be willing to go to that team because they're not to say that their reputation will take a hit or whatever, because footballers know other footballers who play great, and no matter what, they're gonna give it their all, right?
Mm.
But it's just a tough situation to want to be in. Um, Again, I had Sheffield as an F tier. You had Sheffield as a D tier. What about?
I would agree to F to make a general consensus F. Like
All
I
right,
agree to that.
all right, cool. So what about Burnley? They're not that far behind Sheffield.
So Burnley's not far behind, but I would say that I am actually surprised on how they performed this season because coming off of last season, there was a lot of expectations for this club. Everyone was thinking that that they would do better than what they did now. You know what I mean? Um, Not to say it was the coach's fault or anything like that. I remember the coming at the end of last season, everyone rated Burnley higher than what they are now. So if anything, I'm a bit shocked, not really because it's still the bottom three, but yeah, I if I was them, I would I don't know who I'd buy. I'll buy something just someone that's consistent for the team. Maybe Andre Gomes, from Everton, get him on a short loan as well. You know
Yeah,
what I
but they
mean?
they can really use Andre Gomes right now. Everton can really use
Yeah, that's
Andre
what I'm saying.
Gomes.
But I don't know if it was because of injury, but they haven't been playing Andre Gomes a lot. So I'm thinking like who can they buy that, won't be a miss. I said Andre Gomes. Maybe to lock up in defense, you can get Godfrey from Everton on a loan as well. Maybe.
Yeah, but they use him. They use him
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm saying. It's hard. So I'm trying to, you know, if I
Yeah,
had to pick one, it's definitely difficult. But if I had to pick one, maybe those two. But overall, the season's an F. Like I said, they're 11 points. They scored 15 as well. Actually, no, 20, which is 5 points more than Sheffield United, but still they conceded 41 goals.
yeah, a
So
lot.
yeah, they definitely need to. That's definitely an F season.
Yeah, it is an up season, especially with the way they ended last season. How they dominated that. I didn't think that I would see them struggle this much, but that just goes to show how much the gap is between the Premier League
Yeah,
and the Championship. Respect to them, but the Premier League is a whole nother beast. So what about Luton? I had them at F tier as well.
yeah, I agree. Like I said, the bottom three you could just wiggle the same F tier as well. But the only thing I would say credit to them is out of the bottom three, I do or I did. They are
They
performing
show more
better.
life than the other teams.
Exactly.
They
That's
show
what I was
more
gonna
life
say.
than the
Yep.
other team.
Exactly.
There's obviously they suffered that loss of their captain with the cardiac arrest.
You rest. Yeah.
That was very tough on the team. It's a tough situation to be in, but there is some positives for this team. Osho, the defender, he's been having a great season. He's 25. He's halfway, half 25, 26, around there. He looks like he can be solid for this team. He looks like, Mengi looks like there's another notch in there that he can continue to be
Chong
and be
is
consistent
Chong is a great
off the
signing.
bench. Yeah,
Yep.
he's good for them. There's some positives for this team, but it's just,
The gap is
the
just too
yeah,
big. It's really too big. Seriously.
yeah, it's a tough situation, but out of their striker, I think he has 5 goals or something like that. But he's having, he does a lot by himself in terms of when the ball gets forward. He's very physical, holds up the ball for the play.
Exactly.
But he's doing a lot by himself, so it's very tough on the whole team. They're trying. Obviously, they're giving it a go, but it's very tough
Like
for
you
the
you
teams.
could even tell by just the goal differences, like goals for and goals against. If you look at the difference, the bottom two are 34, Sheffield United, Burnley's negative 21, negative 34, by the way, negative 21, and then Luton's negative 14. So you can see that big drop. So they have been performing good. But like I said, the gap is just so big that, I don't see them coming out.
Yeah, I do think that they could use a center attacking midfielder just so
Mm,
that they can link up the play to Adebayo and have something further up the field than they have been, because
yeah.
they do sit in the block, and you know how that goes. You sit in a block all
Yeah.
game and you just try to counterattack.
Mm.
If they got a center attacking midfielder who can um link up play and be a little further up the field with the ball and is comfortable in that role, I feel like they would potentially even if Everton screw up their role and don't get their act together, they could probably stay up if they get lucky and they get a center attacking
Well,
midfielder and hold things up and
I might as well say Everton because I disagree with that last ish statement that you made. But before I go, did you have anyone in mind, or you just thinking an attacking mid?
no, I think
Just an attacking mid.
again
We don't. Yeah,
it's
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 hard
very
to.
it's
Yeah,
very very tough to find a
yeah.
player that
Facts.
would
I if you had to tell me to give someone, I don't know, Rob Holding. I really don't know. But like I said, I just think I agree with you. I think they do need an attacking mid to like link up. But the reason why I say I disagree with you is because Everton, with if we took out the 10 to 15 point deduction, what do you want to agree on, 10 or 15? Because I don't know off the top of my
we'll do
head.
10. We'll do
10,
10.
they'll have 26 points, and that would bring them up to 12th place. And on top of that, they did have a couple of positive runs to them, that they had, and I think they actually, you know, because of that point deduction, they're so low. But if I had to evaluate the team, I think they didn't perform half bad. I think they would be about mid-table. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be so harsh and be like, "Oh, if Everton's not on their shit," but I think they are. It's just that point deduction, you know what I mean, that really did them dirty because, like I said, ever since that point deduction, I said a couple episodes back, I think they've been performing really well. You know what I mean? Not top tier, but
I mean, three
for
zero Wolves,
yeah, I know,
they
yeah.
the
No, no, don't
reason
get me
the
wrong. Yeah,
reason the
I say
reason why
mid-table performance.
the reason why I said they if Everton don't get their act together is because um the team that Everton have is not great that they've been struggling to find goals from the people up top. They
Yeah,
found goals from other spots in the field. The Corey has been I think their top goal scorer and he plays like Cam or something like that for
mhm,
them. They switch up where they put him. But their strikers are not having a great season. If their strikers catch fire and they actually start giving them something, maybe. But in terms, I said Luton be might be able to stay in the Prem if Everton don't get their act together because out of those three, I think that Luton. I mean, I thought that Sheffield were gonna
advance up.
w- not advance off, but they would do better than the other newly promoted teams because of the way that they played against the rest of the league and against the competition that they had at the beginning of the season. They
And
I
they
thought
have been up already before recently, I think, too. Sheffield
Yeah, yeah,
and
recently, yeah.
them.
But I thought that they were, the way they performed against their recent competition, they played the best out of those newly promoted teams. But Luton so far have they've been proving me wrong. They've been right there. Again, they've gone through a lot. They've lost a key player, and obviously it's not great for those teams at the bottom. But they're trying. They're giving it a whack.
I think Everton too. They had the injury with Calvin Lewin that really took a blow to them at the beginning of the season. Because now he has to find that form that he wasn't. But I think that if anything, they just need a bit more consistency, and if anything, they need a new medical team because I have no idea. But yeah, no, I didn't give them a player because I honestly don't know who's gonna join them to improve. Like I think they just have to just be consistent with what they have rather than go buy someone, in my opinion. So I just left it blank on that.
Mhm.
But if I had to give a tier, I want to say F, but they had that point deduction, so I'll give them a D.
You're talking about Everton.
Everton, I'll give them
Okay.
a D. I'll
All
give
right.
them a D. I don't know what you'll give them, but I'll give them a D.
All right. Let me see where my notes I had them at. Just want to make sure that I'm very clear about where I think Everton are in terms of their season. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised on this.
All right, I had Everton at a D tier.
D tier, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
D
okay, yeah.
tier.
I could easily say
Again,
F,
again,
but
15-point deduction,
that's
10-point
why, yeah.
deduction. Um, but Onana, Decore, Pickford has his moments. Tarkovsky, they've been having okay seasons. Um, I do think that Patterson, the defender, he's been promising. He's really really young, but he's looked promising. He looked physical. He's looked like comfortable out there. Um, I think in terms of, again, I think they lack a right wing threat because a lot of their, I mean, they do put Dwight,
McNeil and
yeah, they put Dwight
Milivojevic,
McNeil on the
whatever.
right
Yeah,
and or on the left, sorry, and he cuts in and takes his
take shots.
long
Yeah,
distance shots. They do have Harrison, but I don't think he gives them that real threat
right.
on
Yeah,
the right side. I feel like if they could get a right wing, I feel like that would
I actually
help the
agree with that.
team.
I was hesitant to put that, but I actually do agree with that. I think they do need something on that right side.
Yeah, because I'm
Seamus
honestly,
Coleman's not it really.
I mean, they could use a fullback too.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I had striker here, but they already spent money on Beto, so they're waiting on how that
Exactly.
goes. So
Pan out. Yeah, I say anything on the right, whether it's right mid, right wing, or right back. I say anything on the right side to boost it up.
yeah, but I would say so far this season, D tier, I would be very afraid of losing Onana if I was an Everton fan. There's been reports of Arsenal and Man United, like so.
I can see the Man United, Arsenal,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
still, if it would be a huge blow, like a
yes,
real sucker
Ye-
punch.
yeah, yeah, especially since he's been one of the consistent
Players that they
points of the
have, yeah.
team. So we'll go on to the next team, Brentford.
Shambles, man. Honestly, yo. I think this team right here is the biggest upset of the season and the most underachieved in the season so far. I I want to say for the whole season because to I don't see a way to bounce back from this to reach top 6, top 8, or maybe even top 10.
Nah, I don't think they were ever gonna get top six.
Honestly, if I look at my predictions, because just scroll away, I had Brentford at
Oh,
10th place.
I
So
mean that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad.
yeah, if they were performing the way I
Okay, but
predicted them to perform,
obviously the team was gonna struggle without Ivan Tony.
yes.
And that's we
W-
get that. We get that.
what's the bald guy that they have?
In Buemo.
Mbeumo.
He
No,
had
no, no,
no, no,
another one,
he
another
was.
one, another one.
Oh, Wisa.
Wisa. I think he's been tremendous,
He's
honestly.
been okay. No,
Okay.
I think
I think
I think Mbuemo has been carrying
oh,
that team.
better. Yeah, of course. Yeah, better. But them
I
two up
think
top.
I think he has
Definitely.
like 12 goal contributions or something like that.
Yeah.
Carrying the team, but he's injured now and he's out till March. And they're gonna reevaluate him at March.
And March to see where he's at.
Yeah, so it's like, and if this team had, I mean, they have other injuries like Shada. I like Shada. Henry, who else they have injured? Mbuemo. If Tony came back and those players were there, I'd be a little bit more, upbeat about this team. But this team is this team is F tier right now.
Yeah, no, F tier for sure. They in the last 5 games they have not won not one.
Yeah,
I honestly, I definitely do give them an F tier, but like I said, they definitely underperformed. I know that they were already going to be low because of the Ivan Tone, like you said, but
yeah,
to be this low, wow.
yeah. I can see them struggling to get 12 to 16
Seriously,
with Tony. With Tony,
yeah, exactly, and that's if someone doesn't cop them.
exactly.
We'll get there
I
later,
can
but
no, I can see someone. I think if you're a Brentford fan, you should be afraid of Brentford because he has a year left on his contract after the season. So I could see this team getting as much money as
as
possible.
possible, ship them out. Yeah,
Exactly. Either in this window or the next or this summer, being very afraid of losing Tony. And I don't want to say, actually, yeah, being irrelevant, you know?
yeah. No, no, of course, fading from because they. I think the last 2 seasons, not counting this one, they did pretty decent, staying relevant. But you're right. If it was me, I would buy 2 players, maybe Bellotti from Roma. Because I think he's not. It's either him or Tammy, but I don't think Tammy would play, being that he's English. I don't think he would. I want to say stoop low, but go that low. But I'd say Bellotti, or I would get something on that right because, like I said, Mbuemo
And
and
Wemo.
Iwisa, they are capable of playing wing and striker. So Wiesa up top, I think that's perfect. So I'd bolster that right or left side and buy Bernardo Traore or Bernat Traore, the guy from Aston Villa. I think he's Burkina Faso, whatever it is. I would say I buy him to bolster up the team. You know what I mean? But overall, F tier, in my opinion.
There have been a lot of rumblings about Nketiah getting a Brentford shout.
Nketiah. Yeah, see, I can see that too. Like make a swap deal or something for him.
Something
I could
similar
see
as
it.
we're swapping money and something similar along those lines.
The only thing I was gonna save it for Arsenal, but the only thing that I'll save it for Arsenal because I think it's a big deal. I'm gonna save it for Arsenal when we get to the Arsenal segment about the Nketiah swap. But continue. And but I'll stick it. I won't think of it as an Arsenal side. I'll think of it as a what is it, Brentford side. I think that would be a good shout for them because Nketiah is something that I think he is a good for them. I think he is a good striker. It's just that when you play in the caliber of Arsenal, their expectations higher than what
Yeah, he seems like he
you
can
know what I
fit
mean.
into that Brentford. Like
Yeah,
he's a Brentford in terms of the ranking of the players.
ranking. Yep,
He's around that Brentford
to build
eight
up.
eight
Yep,
to 12 range striker. Like
yep,
Nketiah, he has his moments, but he's no Gabriel Jesus, who we'll talk about it later. He has his own issues.
yeah. So I
Um,
definitely think if Brentford gets that, 100% good. But I'll tell you
but
Arsenal when I get to Arsenal.
right now, what do you have their tier at? F tier, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. On to Nottingham Forest. They're next. Where do you have them at?
I would say
I
D
have
tier.
I have Forest at C tier.
See, just a
Yeah.
little bit. Why? I want to hear you go.
Um, I think that their season so far has been okay. I think that the team relies a little bit too much on Morgs Gibbs White, um, in terms of creating chances. Um, and I think that there's a lot of bright spots with the team, though. Their striker, I think Chris Wood, he's been doing his thing. Alonga's been having a great season so far for them, so
Amazing. Yep.
that's he looks like he's enjoying his football. He's smiling more. He looks like he's just enjoying himself out there, which is um something that you can't buy. He's having the time of his life out there, and he's playing well. I think he has like 8 goal contributions so far this season, and he's taken some of that pressure off of Gibbs White in terms of creating stuff for the team. I think that you know it's just where I see they're exactly where around where I think they'd finish. So giving them a C didn't feel so out of place. Like they're 1 or 2 spots down from where I think they'll finish, but they're right around the ballpark.
Yeah, for me, I had them one down of what I originally predicted. But um, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're doing great things at the club.
And
Take
they've played well against United. Sorry to cut you off, but they
no, you
played
good.
well
Yeah,
against
United.
United,
Yeah,
and both times they've played really good against United both times. And they started off the season with that 2-3 or that 2-3 thriller at Old Trafford. So like they have moments in the season where they're playing well.
with Steve Cooper out with Nuno Espirito Santo, I think that I think I can see why you say C tier. But me personally, I still give him a D because I wanted just a little bit more, just because the fact that, like you said, they're relying on Gibbs White. I think they could do more than that, but they did do good against United. Ilanga and all that front three has just been amazing and good form. So I could see a C. I would say though, if I was them, they have that defender from Atletico Felipe. I don't know. I don't know why he's not playing a lot. I don't know if it's through injury or he fall out of favor, but maybe bolster their defense, I would say. So I would get something from a lower league teams that you won't spend so much bread on, like maybe like the guy you said from Luton, O'Shea or Osha, whatever his name was.
Osho.
I'll buy Osho, because
Yeah,
you
but
could probably get
he's
him.
so necessary for Luton though.
You splash a little bit, maybe bolster your attack for Nottingham Forest. If I was them, I probably would do that, because they are -11, on goal differences. And compared to the team above them, which is -7, and the team underneath them is -5, they have been conceding maybe a little too much. But maybe get Osha or get Burnley's best defender, O'Shea, or something like that. You know what I mean? Just to bolster his attack, I mean their defense, I mean. But that's who I would say. Other than that, I could see C if you put D either way, it's fine with me.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of upside to this team. Obviously the Steve Cooper thing was a thing that happened.
Yeah.
You can't deny that it happened. But I think that there's a lot of positive to this team, so that's why I gave them a C because they have something to look forward to, and they're not too far away from where I have them finishing. So
Yeah.
that's why I had them at C. We're going to the next team, Crystal Palace.
I think Crystal Palace, for the circumstances that they're in, and how they performed in that circumstances, I give them C tier because
F
you give them F?
F
Really?
F
F?
F
I give them C because
F.
Well, we're gonna differ. I give C because they did have the Olisi and SA injury. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that already was gonna be a super blow. Two of their, I want to say, star players, but performing how they performed, I don't think they did half bad. You know, I I give them a C tier. You know what I mean? Maybe D, but I give them a C tier.
No, they definitely haven't gotten super lucky in terms of Olise and Eze's health.
Yeah.
They've been in and out, in and out. Um, but let's be honest. This team does not do much if the ball is not within Eze and Olise's feet, right?
Mhm.
Oh, I think Olise is their tied top goal scorer with Edward. I think 5 goals, and I can't remember the assist. But nothing happens unless they touch the ball, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
That's
but then that's the same thing you could say with Nottingham Forest, that everything goes through your bites.
Yes, but this team plays stale in terms of the way they play with the ball. Like they don't, and they just is the health of the season has not been great. I think Decore got an ACL.
Mhm.
He's out for the season. Um, and they play too slow. The build up is too slow for the team. Like they play very slow, and they're not quality enough to make that final pass. Like they really just got to give the ball to Elise or Eze and or have a set play where it just works out and things go their way. Um, again, I could see 8 games winless like in a row is not great, not great for this team, and um, they have one of the worst attacks in the Premier League.
I mean, to be honest with you, I had them finish 13th and they're in 12th. You know what I mean?
They're not in 12th.
The- no, I had them 13th and
They're
they're
in
sitting in
14th.
14th. My
Okay,
apologies.
14th.
Yeah, and they're sitting in 14th. So for where I had them, they're not that far
Yeah,
behind.
I mean, yeah, you had him there. I had him like 10-8.
In 10th, yeah. So maybe your expectations are high. That's why you put it.
I had him 10-8, but this team, like,
No,
bro,
I hear your points though with the lease and all that. I definitely hear it, and I can see it. I give them a C because, like I said, it's right where I expected them to be. If anything, if I had to, maybe a D, I can concede to a D. But if I had to pick where I thought they would finish in the season, no, I'm sorry. If I had to pick, sorry, message, but if I had to pick who I'd say to buy, I don't know because I would maybe buy a right back. I was thinking of that ex Liverpool player. What is it, Nathaniel Clyde, whatever,
Klein
Clyde, whatever.
for
Only
He
because
plays for Brentford.
Brentford, yeah. Only because I don't know if he plays for Brentford, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yes,
Anyways,
yeah, Nathaniel Klein.
I would buy him only because I think Ward, great player for the club, great servant, but I think he's 34. I think he's kind of peaking. You know what I mean? Like he's not the fastest, so maybe he's versatile enough to put him in the middle. But I'll put Klein, because he's better attacking.
The
Anyways,
reason why I gave him one of the other reasons I gave him an F is because they can literally use anything. Center back, center midfielder, striker. They can
yeah,
use any of those
not a
within that
winger,
chain. Exactly, not a winger,
not
but they any of the backbone of the team.
yeah, could be
Center
like
back,
upgraded or
center
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
They could use anything better. Anything.
Like I said, I get your point, but to say F, I think you're being harsh.
F
I say D or C.
F 8 games, no wins.
Then let's agree on a D because F is crazy. You say C is crazy. Meet in the middle. D.
C is crazy for this team.
I'm saying low C's. You know what I mean? Like low C's. Like
low,
low C's. I'm
low
not saying
Cs.
77. I'm saying like 70. Like low C's. But yeah, I can concede to a D if you can agree on it. There's no way it's an F in my opinion. Only because, like I said, they're right where I expect them to be.
Okay, all right, but I mean, they're right where you expect it to be. But Olise and Eze have been getting injured more than you would have wanted. Decore, he's out
ACL,
for the
yeah.
season. Like those things factor. Like
It
for me,
does.
they factored a lot more. Because I watch this team. If I spend the time to watch teams, like I was like, I'll watch Crystal Palace this year. I'll give them some respect, and then they do this to me. You know. All right. So did you
D.
did D? Okay, D.
D. And I said by Clyde or Klein or whatever his name was. Yeah.
Nathaniel Klein.
Nathaniel Klein, yeah.
So on to the next team, Fulham.
And so you had no one for the buy. You just
Anybody at
anybody.
center
All right,
back,
no, that's fair.
center
No,
mid,
yo,
striker.
That's fair, 100%. That's definitely fair. Fulham, what do you have?
I got him at D tier.
D tier?
Or sorry, C tier.
C? I have him on B.
Yeah, tomato,
All
tomato.
right, okay. So low C, not high C. Low C is right. Yeah, I guess. Now, I personally think that I don't know what it is. I feel like they haven't exhausted all their options sometimes, like in terms of who they play and players selection. Like I said from before, there's a Dama there that no one ever uses. Don't know why.
Nah, but you have like a man crush on Adama Traore.
No, I think he's well enough to not be benched. I don't think he started this whole season
He
even
he
off a sub,
hasn't he
even
hasn't
off a
had
sub
he hasn't had many starts. I don't think he's had a start.
at all. Not even off a sub. That's wild. Why get a guy if you have no future for him? You know what I mean? That to me is wild.
Maybe the scouting was off.
Like I said, I don't follow them enough to know, but I don't know. Could be injured, but I don't think he is at all. So it's like, why not use him? There's also Tim Reed, the American.
Yeah, he plays. Yep.
He plays, but he's been falling out of the pecking order. I know in the beginning of the season he played a lot, and then towards the second half of the first season, I mean of this first half, like towards the second, he hasn't been playing. I don't know why. I think they haven't been exhausting all the options that they have, in my opinion. And on top of that, I think they've been leaving it kind of close then for comfort the last few games, you know. They had the one with Liverpool. They almost tied and got points with Arsenal. They almost did the same thing as well with Wolves. So maybe I would say they need someone that can hold and link up play a little bit better.
That's exact. I had him as needing to buy someone a center midfielder. Let me read it exactly how I have it. Um, I have a center midfielder who can anchor the midfield and link the play between the back line and
Yeah.
midfield.
And the one I had shout to do the job, I don't know how likely it would be, but Hoiberg,
Højbjerg.
Højbjerg from yeah.
The thing with we'll talk about. I mean, no, we can
Because
talk
I
about it
know
now.
you're gonna say he's kind of important or whatever. So I
He
don't
is
know.
important, but I think he's injured right
Yeah, all right, yeah, but I'd put my money. I don't know. I don't depending on the injury. If it's like a hamstring that he'll be back in a couple weeks. Why not?
Yeah, I don't know the specifics behind that particular injury, but
Yeah,
this team has had some good performances. I've been impressed by some of their performances this season. That's why I didn't want to give them a D, especially the one against us. But obviously, we didn't have Allison, but the team was played resilient. Um, Jimenez, he's been giving them a little boost lately. Iwobi, Pereira, Robinson's been good for this team. You know, like there's
yeah,
been a lot of positive. That's why I have him at a C rather than a D, because there is more to kind of to see from this team, I think, because I mean, obviously they're Fulham, they're a mid-table team. I don't think that anybody had them busting through the seams or anything like that, you know. But I think that there are some positive things for this team. I think Wolby has been a great signing for them. And with Willian, obviously he's aged, but
still
he's
providing.
still
Yeah,
yeah he's still giving a lot for this team. He's still giving a lot for the team, and considering that they had lost Mitrovic and how much what he meant to that team,
yeah, facts.
I think that C is okay because I can see that I've seen them play really really good. Like I think that they have the capacity to play maybe not a lot better than they've played, but get some more goals than they have and
Yeah,
make some differences. And they've gotten a result against big teams like Arsenal. They've gotten a result. They started off. Let me see. They've 5-0 to West Ham and Forest. Like that like they have their moments.
yeah. No, I agree. I can see a low C for sure. Who did you think? Did you have anyone in mind, or you just think link up someone in the midfield that link it up? Did you have any specific person in mind?
Um, in terms of in terms of
That midfield.
the midfield, it's not a lot. I mean, again, I think that they need a center midfielder who can, like I said, anchor the back line and link the play between um the back line and the midfield. I think that's really important for them. I think that's super important because, they have. I'm not saying they have a great attack or whatever, but obviously they're not a team that's going to have the ball all the time. So if they can get a player that can take the ball and then shift it into a spot that they can use to go forward, that would be great for the team.
Yeah. All right.
So we're going to 12th place, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. So, yo, honestly, if I had to say an L in my predictions, it would be Bournemouth because I did have them go in 16th place.
Okay.
I had them relatively low, probably where you probably had a Wolves or something like that. But um, for me, for them, this would actually be a team that I would say don't buy nobody. I would say just keep what they are. Keep because like the difference between them and let's say eighth place is not that far at all. You know what I mean? Uh well, not eighth place, ninth place. Ninth place is 29 points and they're sitting right now with 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like these next teams, if they can stay consistent and just win their games,
Yeah, they're in the neighborhood of where I thought they would finish.
finish. Yeah, exactly. Not maybe
Um
not me because I did have them 16. So I would say like don't buy nobody. Stay consistent in what you have, the team you have. Because if you buy someone, then they gotta adjust. It's
yeah, it's a
you
there
gotta
is
build form
yeah,
chemistry. So I
yeah.
would say knock that noise. Maybe get a young player from the academy. Build them up, whatever it may be. But I would say for them specifically, don't buy nobody.
So what tier do you have them at?
Based off my predictions, I have to say B, C.
I have them at C tier.
But I would say high C's, 100%.
I
Maybe
have
not quite B.
I have them at C tier. They're exactly
Mid to high,
where
yeah.
I think they'd be. They've gotten results at Aston Villa, United, Newcastle, even Brentford early on when they was when they didn't have when they had Wemo.
Yeah.
When the team was more healthy, they got that the win. But they've been on the end of 6-1, 4-0, 3-0. So
Yeah.
I give them a C because this is where I thought they'd be. And
Yeah.
there's not a lot to add to that team. I think that um they could lose Solanke to they might lose him this transfer window. Only because I think that teams could use a striker, and there's like Arsenal, I think they could use a striker. I think that if United they wanted to get a striker so that they can not only uh try to compete for top four, but get someone in there to kind of mentor Hoyland. Like that would kind of be the guy that they would go for. So and Crystal Palace even they could use a
Usually
striker.
striker, yeah, for sure.
Like so,
I don't
th-
know how funds work with that one, if they have the funds to back that up, but they could definitely use a striker. Yeah.
yeah. So they could lose him. But I have them at C because this is about where I have them at. This is definitely in the neighborhood. I think this is exactly where I had them at.
Yeah.
All right. Number 11, we have Wolves.
Wolves. Yes. Wolves. The
Your
team
team.
that you had low, I think, in your predictions. But
That is none of your business.
nah, I mean, it's out there. So
It's none of
I
your
had
business.
Wolves at 12th, finishing the season at 12th in my predictions, and they're 11th. And honestly, this is exactly what I expected from Wolves. Like, I think they're a sleeper team, as in the fact as if you go in there lightly and you think that you could just
Have
I,
an easy day at the office.
you're wrong,
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
wrong.
I have them at B tier.
BJ, I agree with that too.
B
I agree
tier.
with that too. B.
It's just they've surprised me with so many performances this season, and I did not expect this at all from
At
them.
all, yeah. A
Um,
lot of people didn't too, to be fair too.
yeah.
So
Huang has been giving them some production. Cunha has been giving them great
Cunha
production.
always, yep.
Um, Again, the whole team is just playing really, really well. Like you know, they had a great performance against United, City, of
City, of
course,
course, yep.
Spurs, Everton, Newcastle, Chelsea, and they showed the ability to be disciplined and sit in the block and counterattack
Encounter,
and make
yeah.
those counterattacks count.
I do like their back line with Totti and
Dawson.
Craig Dawson and Kilman. I really do fancy that back line. The only thing that I would say about this team that because you want to increase a little bit would be Pedro Neto. He's injury prone. Like
Yeah. Yeah. If he was healthier, I
it
feel
would be.
like
I would think would be a lot
yeah.
better, hundred
Yeah.
percent. But that is literally the only problem. So for me, the only thing that I would buy, because Juan can play striker, Cunha can play striker or right, left. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Cunha, he plays striker a lot
A
for
lot.
for that
So
team.
for me, I would buy someone that could bolster that attack. You know what I mean? If Pedro Neto's not there, so maybe someone that's like minded. He's a speedster, so that's obviously going to be limited as it is. But the person I had in mind would be Reece Nelson from Arsenal. I think coming off the
Okay.
bench in Arsenal, he's been, you know, driving the ball, being kind of like a Garnacho, you know what I mean? Exciting,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Dribbling and creating chances. And I think it's not to the level of Pedro Neto, but for
Yeah.
Pedro Neto
It
that's been
would be
injured,
it would be
I would
interesting
fancy that.
it would be interesting to see how he would be on a team that he would be getting way more game
Game
time
time, exactly.
than he
Yes.
would be
Maybe a
getting at
loan to buy
Arsenal.
deal. Who knows? That's where
Yeah. I
I
mean,
put that.
yeah. I mean, I don't see him in the Arteta's plans too much.
No, me
So
either.
I can see a loan deal going out for
For
that.
sure. That's why I put, but I definitely agree with B tier. B tier
Yeah,
for me.
a tremendous season from them.
Mm.
So next, we have Chelsea. Oh, yo, it's so crazy how it flips. Yo, you could go from one side of the coin to the another side of the coin. I have them at D tier.
D, honestly, D is about right. Yeah, D is about right. Maybe high D's, but D's for sure.
Right. I have them. Okay, I have them at D because this team has been so riddled with injuries. I think they're the most injured team in the Premier League. Um,
Mm,
I think
they're
that
one of them, but they're not. Yeah,
yeah, and
Newcastle and United. Nah, I think they have them beat, but yeah,
they're
one of
they're
them.
in the mix.
Yeah,
They're in the mix. They're in the mix for sure. But again, they had great performances against City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, and then they lose to Everton, they lose to Wolves, they lose to Brentford, they lose to Forest. Like they can't defend. They can't defend. They don't play as a unit. Um, they're just a bunch of individuals, and it's tough to say. This team has no teeth. Like
yeah, no,
Nico
but
J-
yeah,
Nico Jackson has been he's been in the middle of like a bunch of, I don't want to say accusations. What's the word I'm looking for? Not accusation, but he's been at the center of a bunch of criticism.
criticism. Yeah,
Criticism is the word I'm looking for on his finishing, his timing, his sense of the game. Like, but it's tough to say.
how he's settling in the club is not. It's not.
But this is
It's
what I
not ideal.
expect. This is I
It's
have them
crazy. Yeah,
I had them at 10. I had them finishing at 10. They at 10, but I have them at D tier because I mean, it's one thing if they was out there full like healthy being bad, but like
I had them in
they're they're
11th.
taking they're taking like a lot of injuries, and they're not playing as a team, as a unit. So that's why I have them at D tier.
Yeah,
And they're
honestly,
so inconsistent.
the inconsistency is getting them. I like you said, there's been injuries, so well, okay, I see you. There's been injuries, but
Right, yeah, injuries, so I take you out of F tier.
exactly, that's literally the only reason. But other than that, I would say don't buy nobody because
They spent too much damn money,
it's not.
man. They
It's that too, but it's not even that. It's like you already got Badlishia or whatever his name is.
Body of Sheila,
You
yeah.
have the other defender. I forgot his name. Begins with a B as well.
Disasi. Disasi.
Disase, exactly. You have Boya, you have Nico Jackson, you have options. If you buy more, just create more options. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's just individuals, man.
Exactly. I think that team, honestly speaking, needs to work with what they have. And that's where I think Pochettino needs to, like this season has to be chalked up and just be like, okay, this is a building stage in whatever he has planned. Because in Tottenham, he did really good with Dele Alli and all those players. So this one, he just needs to stick to what he has because he does have options. You know what I mean? He does have options. He just needs to get them consistency and get the right drive out of the people. And with the likes of Nkuku coming back from injury.
In Kunku.
Yep, all that coming back from injury. Their future is looking bright. Chukwueze, I think his name is.
Chukwueze.
Chukwueze, he's been performing good lately. So he just needs to work what he has. And, I think they have a lot to be optimistic for the future.
Yeah, it's tough for me to justify them spending more money.
Yeah, no.
It's just rough. I mean,
I
I don't
know.
want to say it's rough because obviously they have the funds. It's just the mindset at the club is not where it needs to be for the Chelsea of old to be the Chelsea of now,
Yeah.
Like it's just not there. Um Speaking of another team that just wants the season to end, Newcastle.
Newcastle, I know. Yo, honestly, with Newcastle,
Wait, do you have Chelsea at D tier?
yeah,
Okay,
100%,
all right.
100%
Yeah,
DJ.
Newcastle, where you got them at?
I'm gonna sit. I know what I have them at, but I want to hear your side. Maybe you can like persuade me on what I have. You know what I mean?
All right, yeah, I got them at D tier.
So I'm debating between D and C.
No, I got him at D tier because they have so many players out. It's tough to again. This team seems like a team that just wants to get to the end of the season, get their guys healthy, and give it an actual shot. But they're not like they have. I think they had 11 players out at one point, which is crazy. Their main goalie's out. Tonali's out off of he's not injured, but he out on suspension.
Suspension, yeah.
There's a lot with that team, like and they started off very strong. Obviously, they started off strong. Like, it's a good team on paper, but once the health started deteriorating, it was difficult to keep up. They had a lot of good performances early on. A lot of good performances in the Champions League. They got a result against Arsenal. So the quality is there. It's just the health is not there this season.
Yeah, so the spot above them is Man United. The reason why I give them C tier, right? I would give them C tier as opposed to D, or at least I'd be contemplating. Like I said, I'm kind of the toss up between the two, is because given the injury that they have, like you said, they have been performing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
In Champions League, in the group of death, their first season, even with the injuries, they lost, got last place, but they played really well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they put in a shift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to say
I
that
have
I'm
them at
putting low to D because of the injuries, I feel like it's kind of harsh because they actually have been playing good
nah,
with
but
the injury. You know what I
okay,
mean? Compared
yeah.
to let's say their counterparts, Man United, who have been playing poorly.
I mean,
I'll give Man U D and then them C. You know what I mean?
the reason I say D is because it's always tough to have 11 players. You're a whole
It
freaking
is, yeah,
starting
of course.
out because of injury.
It is.
That's a tough place to be in.
It is. It definitely
It's a
is.
tough place to be in. I don't think that any team that would. I mean, obviously, you can say good job for surpassing the odds and playing well
Mm.
even with the injuries. But I think that having 11 players injured is like, yo, what the hell, man? Like,
Yeah, but that's
you know,
not
it's
it's
not
not the
it's not them,
team's performance fault. You know what I mean? That's
but
why I
they've
say the
also
performance wise.
lost momentum from a bunch of times in the season, and
Yeah, they have.
they've
They
been on the
have.
end of a 4-1 day. They've been at the end of like pretty bad score lines,
Yeah, this
even
is
though
true.
they had an 8-0 at the beginning of the season, and then they
Yeah,
you know
but
1 second.
yeah, it would be that one.
How long has it been up?
I have no idea.
We'll
Yeah, if anything, yeah, we'll be right back. And plus, we have camera one that has both faces. But yeah. So like I said, like that because I'm rating them based on performances.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna rate on performances, not because of the injuries, because I feel like it's a bit harsh. But if I rate on performances alone, with the circumstances that they have, I'd give. That's why I would say I can see a C. But if you give a D, I can very well see that too as well.
Yeah,
But that's
only
why I
because
was the
it's
toss up between
yeah.
the two.
I was rating the season based on, how 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 happy are you with the events that are going
Yeah.
by? How happy are you with the team that's out there playing? How happy are you with the results, the effort? Obviously they're a very tough team. They're very tough out, and they're always dangerous on a counterattack. They're always gonna be have that edge to them.
Yeah. You said counterattack. So I think because I have a couple players that I think they need a ball. I actually have a couple like three or four, but we could just go by the names. I'm not going to go into specifics, but I think that they could do something to bolster their attack. In they're great players, but what Newcastle and the coach is doing that I like is that they're actually uh putting in these what's it called, they're having good rotation. Like for example, Wilson and Isaac. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that.
Yep.
So I think they should do that for all positions up top, like the wingers. So I think they should bring in another winger. Maybe someone like Rafinha. You know what I mean? If because I know they have the money from Barca. You know what I mean? Because honestly speaking, Gordon's great. I think they could be better clinically. Same thing with Emerald this season, at least. I know Emerald, it's been performing last season, really great scored goals, but this season I think he could be something clinically, could be more clinical. So therefore, and I think Murphy's been great, but
He's injured right now.
exactly. So I think if they can get someone like Rafinha would be great. Maybe someone like Greenwood, who's actually doing really good in Getafe,
Yeah.
that would be good. I also think that with Tonali being injured, maybe create more depth and get someone like Phillips from Man City. Phillips.
I mean that is a good shout. I have here that
or the Atlanta guy Cooper. m- m- I can't pronounce his name, but
Coop Miners.
Coop Miner, exactly. Yeah.
I have here that
Damn, I
they
really butchered his name.
it's no, it's fine, it's fine.
But
I
yeah,
have here that they should look for a center mid defensive workhorse who
nope,
can actively press. That's what I
exactly.
have them kind of in the market for, which is kind of what I mean. Tonali, I mean, he would have kind of acted as
He would,
that if he
yeah,
was there. But that's who I feel like they can use that extra help and not have you know just the deep because that midfield like I like the press that Jolington does. I like what Guimarães does, what he offers to that midfielder. Miley, he's adding more to that midfield, like he's growing with the team.
yeah,
Um, but there's something about that midfield that's just there's something missing. There's no defensive punch, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how likely Rafinha is because I know that they're going to be spending an arm and a leg. But I think, like I said, I think the holding mid's the issue and the wingers, having
Yeah,
extra rotation. You know what I mean
yeah.
to swap. I think would be great for the team.
I think if Gordon or Almiron were having more palatable seasons, I feel like maybe the team would be in a different spot, maybe one or two spots higher. But it's a tough position to be in with all those damn injuries,
Injuries,
man.
yeah, no,
All right, and above them we got Manchester
F.
United. I got them in D tier.
I say F because, but like I said, same thing with Newcastle. CD, F, D, or F. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
tomato tomato.
Tomato. Because, like I said, you hear from every United fan that there is under the sun injury. But yet we have other teams that have injury but are still performing way better. You know what I mean? Chelsea and Newcastle United have injuries, but they still are performing better. Granted that
I mean,
man.
I don't know about Chelsea performing better. They're in
Well,
the
yeah,
mix.
they're in the mix. Yeah,
They're in the
exactly,
mix.
exactly. So I give them F or D. Personally speaking, because of Champions League, even though we're not considering this in the argument, I give F, 100%, straight up F. I think though that I think honestly, because of these injuries, they need to buy players. But because of the so many injuries that they have, this needs to be like a short loan buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be like a man, Chelsea buying these players and then you know what I mean, having to offload them.
I would say they need to be careful to not fall into that Weghorst trap that they fell into. Like, oh, he's gonna
Save
save
the
the
club,
team.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, but
like
that's just goes to the mindset and toxicity of the fans itself. You know what I mean? You can't just say just because you got a player, oh, he's to solve the problem. No, he's there to help. Because they did the same thing with Van de Beek. You know what I mean?
no.
No,
That's the
they
Van de
did the
Beek
same thing. They
situation.
thought that he was the
No,
be all end all
the
of the
Van de Beek
situation.
situation where he doesn't get game time, and I like Donny. I like his play style. I think he plays the game in a very interesting way to watch. But the team was just not. He didn't have the opportunity there.
Yes,
And
but that's
even when he was sent to Everton, it felt like he wasn't really given the opportunity there either
either.
because
Yeah,
because it's tough to go out there and give it everything you got and be of course you can be professional and there's mindset things, but there's such thing as form and being able to like, okay, I played last week, I'm gonna play this week, I'm gonna keep playing,
yeah.
I'm gonna build on that. And then he just his the game time was so all over the place.
That's
It's
why
tough to
I'm
get a
agreeing
rhythm.
with you.
It's tough to get a rhythm.
That's why I'm agreeing with you. The thing that I was saying is that the fans though, they're just toxic in my opinion, man. They just, they just think they don't see that. They think Donny Van de Beek, oh, savior. They think Weghorst savior, and it's like, no, these players are not the long term solution. So for me, I honestly think though they need to buy obviously someone for because the defense because of their injury. So I was thinking this is a long term, not short term, but Silva from Benfica, or maybe get a top sober from Bayern Leverkusen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They need to bolster that because if you're trying to be the best team or recover, you're not going to do that with Maguire and Johnny Evans as your
yeah,
back line. So
yeah.
you need something back there.
I do get that, but this team is there's so many injuries, bro.
Yes.
And then there's so then there's like this weird stuff going on with Rashford and Bruno. Bruno's so inconsistent, and
Yep.
the team relies on him so
You get
much.
Varane just getting sick every other day.
Yeah, and then Bruno, the team needs him, and if he's not playing at his best, he leans more on Garnacho and Rashford, which is okay. I'm fine with teams covering up for
Intertwining,
each
yeah.
other, covering up for each other. That's fine, but Garnacho is so young,
Yeah, he
and
is.
Rashford is just inconsistent this season. I don't know what's going on with him. So this team is struggling very, very bad. I
You
think,
have Sancho that,
and the Sancho
situation.
situation.
Exactly.
They
So
could have easily been F tier.
I give them F, but
Oh, I mean,
I could
I'm just
tomato,
saying.
tomato, DF,
I
tomato,
mean, okay,
tomato.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, they lost against Spurs when they were hot at the start of the season, Arsenal, Brighton, and they got battered by Man City. Um I mean, aside from when I was looking at the team, right? Obviously I've been watching United games. I have a brother who loves United. I watch United
Yeah.
games just so I can have something to talk to him about in terms of the game, right? When I looked at the team, like aside from their recent result against Liverpool and Villa, all their points have come against bottom of the table
Teams,
teams.
yeah. Pretty much.
And they've had some moments where they've lost to those teams. Like, I mean, obviously which is fine, right? I'm fine with them beating their whoever's in front of them. But the problem is when they play against teams that they should be competing against, they get nothing.
Hmm.
They get absolutely nothing. And that's why I have them at D tier. I didn't expect him to be top six, but I can't give him a C tier or B tier for
At
the
all.
season
I don't
at
even
all.
think, depending on transfers and everything, I don't even think they can stay in top 8. Like, because they're in 8th place. I don't even think they.
Well, I mean, Casemiro's coming back.
I think they could fall.
Casemiro's coming back, so
Yeah.
that's a positive. But they're missing, Martinez, Maguire.
Martinez, yes, exactly.
There's a bunch of Shaw. I think is
Luke Shaw, that's what it was. Yeah,
they're missing a lot.
Tommy Malacia or whatever that.
Malacia too. He had
that's
to go
what it
through.
was.
He had to go through surgery.
Yeah, they're missing it. They are
mean,
missing a lot.
They have had some positives, like Mainu has been good for that team, but I think this team needs an Onana. I really think another Onana. They need
Another keeper.
No, not another
I was
keeper.
about to be
but
like, whoa.
the Everton Onana.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
I think he's class. I think he's what this team needs, and to bring that defensive punch.
Yeah, I don't know though, because
if you think about it, McTominay, he's not giving them that defense. He's a box to box at this club. He finds himself in the box and he gives them whatever he can when he's in the box. But I think that Onana would help with that defensive punch. And if they get, I think that since Anthony's not having a great season, I think slide him to the bench, maybe get a right winger or put Garnacho on the right so he can get him a winger that can cross to Højlund, because give the man something, because the ball goes wide.
A lot of people are thinking Kolobu, whatever, the Asian from La Liga, plays for Real Sociedad, I believe. He's been finding he's good at doing that, finding the striker. You know what I mean?
Because whenever Man United, or I've noticed, whenever they attack and the ball goes wide, they're either Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony. Either they hold up the ball or they're taking the shot themselves.
Cut
and they
and
leave
shoot, yeah.
they leave nothing for Højlund.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they're the reason Højlund's
Not scoring,
one goal, but get the man some help. Get the man some help.
But I think that, for me, they have Amrabat. That's why maybe I won't get that Onana guy that you're talking about. I just think that defense comes first. Like, that's just how I am. Defense.
They can use a
first.
center back too.
They
can use a center back.
That's fine, but they need to sort out that back line. You know what I mean? Because they only have 3 options, if anything. You know what I mean?
Lindelof is injured. Maguire's injured. They're playing Evans and
Varane. And Varane gets sick every day. So what? You're going to put Luke Shaw in the middle?
He's injured.
Yo, you got to sort out that back line first, man. Build back and then go up.
Yeah. I mean,
so injury is a thing, 100%.
But I gotta give him that D, man. I gotta give him that
D, like low D. Like, what's it, D? 65, 60?
60.
I'm giving them 59.9.
D-.
Damn it. Yeah, exactly. D minus. Crazy.
All right, now on to 7th place, Brighton.
7th place, Brighton. I don't think this is another one too that I'm gonna say C tier, high C.
C tier for Brighton.
High C though. Like, you know what I mean? Because I thought they'd do a little bit better, man, to be honest. Their last 5 games, draw, win, draw, loss, and a draw again. They're not been in form. I did not think West Ham will outperform them at all. You know what I mean? They had a great start, and it's just like, what happened? You know what I mean?
Injuries, man.
Injuries, yeah, that is a thing this season. And their coach, amazing, man. I think he's top tier. Honestly, I would put him in the likes of Pep. You know what I mean? I know,
Whoa,
no, I
whoa,
know
whoa, whoa.
potentially because the philosophy that he instilled in the team that he's doing that I can personally see is a top tier class. But I don't think they should buy anybody. I think they should keep to what they have. They have a lot of these young players that they can sell, make money on or invest in. And I think they should just stay as is and just, like I said, be consistent and play for top 5,
Yeah,
which is very possible for them.
especially with what has happened with the club. They haven't been as great as I thought they would be this season. I had them at fourth place, but they're right in the neighborhood of where they should
It
be.
should be
I got them at C.
yeah, I say T too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had them at 6, but yeah, I
I
had
mean
them
they're
in
right.
C.
They're right in the
It's
ballpark.
right there. Yeah.
They're right in the ballpark. Um, I do just hold on the Deservy.
No, I do
No,
fancy the
no,
guy. I'm
yeah,
telling you, I
he has his
fancy him
tactics. He
seriously.
has his tactics, man. But and he's unique with it. But there is Pep's on a whole nother level, man.
Okay, all right, yeah, I understand that. 7 or how many 5 Champions League, I mean Premier League, whatever, got the treble. I understand, but I was just using that to show you, like, I really like salute. Like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, respect for sure. Um, West Ham,
West Ham,
sixth place.
6th place. What did I have them predicted as? I put West
I
Ham
got him at
ninth,
B tier.
B tier.
Yeah,
I agree with that. I had them at ninth in the prediction season.
I think I had him at seventh, something like that. They're right where I expected them to be. They took a weird path to get there though, but they've had a rough couple of games.
Yeah,
They had a decent start to the season. Then they go and they lose 5-0 to Fulham and
yeah, yeah.
4-1 to Villa, and
Yeah.
then they lose to Everton. So
Definitely the pass was not, ideal. With them, they have, I want to say, quote unquote solid team, you know what I mean?
they
Like
do.
they're
They do.
well rounded.
Yeah.
For them, it's literally like, I forgot what team that we said. I think it was Crystal Palace. They just
Bournemouth.
or whatever, they just need to like bolster in some
Yeah,
areas.
Bournemouth.
So like for me, the only thing I was like keen on was maybe their left back, you know what I mean? Granted, Emerson's playing really well, but who's their backup? Cresswell? No. I would,
No, he plays on the right. I think. No,
no, he
Castagna
plays on the right. So
Yeah.
Cresswell's on the left. So I would bolster and maybe get Mitchell's from, what is it,
Crystal
Crystal
Palace.
Palace? Because I think he's pretty good. So I would just bolster that, you know what I mean? Emerson is playing good, but I'll just bolster it. I think the whole team, you can go anywhere and just like, you know what I mean? Just get an upgrade.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, the team is solid. They've gotten some really important results against Brighton, against Arsenal, United, I think Spurs as well. Yeah, Spurs. But I think they need to get a striker because Mikel Antonio is injured and he's out with a knee injury and he just re-aggravated in practice. And they're gonna I mean they play Bowen up top. But obviously he can be the short-term solution to that, but they need a real solution to that because he's gonna be out until March.
March,
And
yeah.
to reevaluate him in March. So.
I think that's another thing. Keeping that Bellarami, whatever his name is, and all that wingers that they have, keeping them fit is key. But yeah, for me, it's a solid team, to be honest. B is about right.
Yeah, but they could be in the Solanke sweepstakes.
Sweepstakes, actually, yeah, that is actually a good shot. I think Swanky would be good for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually do think that's good. Yeah.
It's just that team is very like all around really really good.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot to add. They're a really well coached team. I was thinking of maybe a center back because Pau Torres was injured for a little bit, and but they've done well without, and I think he's back on the bench with them. Hopefully he gets more game time. But on to the next team. Yeah, Spurs.
Spurs. I think that I want to say so
A
it's
tier.
A B
A
C,
tier.
it's C,
It's
it's S
S
A
A
B
B
C. I give them
A tier.
A tier, yeah.
A tier so far.
Honestly, even though not the last couple games, but they had like a little shake, but
They did slide a little
they
bit,
did slide a little bit.
but
But I give them A.
they're literally 3 points away from second place.
Exactly. So I give them A 100%. If I was them though, the only thing I would get, only because it's just me, man. Like I said, I don't know if it's what I feel
Center
about the
back.
guy. It's a center back.
Center back.
Romero, just specifically, I don't know. He's
Not
a great
not
defender.
even that. He can do his thing, but he needs a partner. He needs something
Yeah, because
more
you can't
than
have
you can't have
Ben
Eric Dyer.
Davis
You
and you
can't
can't
have
have
Eric.
Eric
You
Dyer.
cannot
No, no,
have
no,
Eric
that's
Dyer
valid.
out
That's
there.
valid. I heard, you know what's funny? I heard reports that Bayern Munich was going to get him. And if that's true, golly, yo,
Who?
Bayern Munich is going to get Dyer. I heard, no, these are rumors. I hope they're just rumors because if he does, Tuchel out. Yo, what the heck? Yo, I gotta get
Hey,
Felix. But no, honestly, the person the person I would say to come to
yo,
Tottenham.
Eric Dyer lifting up a Champions League would be crazy.
Yo, honestly, just any trophy in general, like the German Cup is like what?
But yeah, they've had some injuries, but they had a really good hot start, and
Oh heck yeah.
I can't take that away from them. Um, I Papisar, Bizuma, Udogi, and Vicario, and they've all stepped up, and the team is playing really well.
Yeah. Honestly, I would put for me though, the only thing that I would buy for this team would be a defender, like you said. I was thinking more of because I'm trying to think.
They could use a striker because Richarlison is all they have up
Yeah,
top.
that is true. That is true. But I would personally pick Kilman, but more Tati Gomez from
Wolves.
Wolves because I'm thinking of how Postecoglou plays off the back. I think those two center backs, especially Gomez, is good at linking up play for them to defense. They're not one of those defenders that are old school, just knock it forward. I think they will try to keep and stay possession. So I personally picked those two because of that reason. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd be careful of that because Spurs like to play really high up the pitch.
Yeah. I think
So
Gomez can do it. Tati Gomez. I think he can do it.
I
He's
mean,
not slow.
yeah,
I think he can do it.
Wolves don't play like that. It would be a very, he'd have to take some time to transition into that. You know,
Yeah. No,
uh,
no. I mean, yeah, that's why I like for me, like with these teams, it's different for than the lower teams because when you get a player in January, you're not like for the higher teams, you're not expected to see results
mhm.
right off the bat. You are, don't get me wrong, but like game winning results, no. It's just to tweak here and there. The lower teams, buying players, yes, 100% because they need the results. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So when I say Totti Gomez, I'm thinking more of the future. You know what I mean? Get him in the system, get him to know players, build chemistry for the next season. You know what I mean?
yep,
But I think that would be a good shout for them, those two players.
yeah. A tier though,
A tier for sure.
A
100%.
tier.
A tier.
So above them we got Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. Honestly,
I got them A tier.
I got them A. I want to say S so bad, but just the last couple games, bro, just why? You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
they've had one of the best defenses in the Premier League. I think
They have. I
they
give them
like.
that.
I don't remember many times where you guys concede goals or foolish goals, even that.
I definitely give it A. We could have been S, but
And
they
you guys,
bottled the
I think
bag.
you guys have like a top 5-ish offense.
Office, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But to me, you gotta get a striker, man. You gotta
Yes,
get
so
Kai Havertz out of that lineup, and you gotta get a striker,
this
man.
Kai Havertz, I can see it. I can see what he's trying to do with Havertz, as in have him floating, like be a man that floats up in the attack to
So like a false nine.
kind of exactly yes. He has still strict defensively, but he's gonna be a floater in attack. Maybe free roam, or whatever on the left side. But to go back to what we were saying about Nketiah and Tony, the only reason why I say no is because the only reason why I disagree with that statement is because Ivan Toney has been out for pretty much the whole season, and is it going to be smart for Arsenal to pay however expensive money for Ivan Toney? I don't think so
That
at
is the
all.
question, man. That is
And
the
and to see immediate results for someone that
That's
hasn't been playing.
Hey, Mayo, I'm
I
just saying.
don't.
I'm just saying. If there was,
I wouldn't take that chance.
If Liverpool, you take that chance.
I would not take
You
that
would not.
chance. I would not take that chance.
Bro, I
would
I
not.
think if you're Arsenal in the
personally.
title race, you take that chance. You take that chance. I know Arteta said that he has the group of guys that he's gonna use, and that he doesn't need anybody else, and this squad of guys can win it. But if you're Arsenal, you got to take that chance, man.
The only reason why
Only because it's when Brentford get Ivan Toney, it's like a new transfer to the club. He will literally
allegedly, we don't know.
We don't know.
He hasn't been playing for
we
4 or
don't
5 months.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But if it's
then yes, you 100%. But the risk there, I wouldn't take it.
There's risk in everything, man.
I wouldn't personally take it. It's too much. What is he going to be?
There's
What,
risk
80, 90 mil?
Something around that.
I wouldn't take that
Something
risk.
around
I'd
that.
rather.
I mean, he's gone either in January or in.
Exactly. I'd rather wait until, if no one buys him, I would wait until January or until the new season, where I have more options. I can get Victor Osimhen, you know what I mean? Or Ivan Toney if he does perform that good, you know what I mean? Maybe if I get him on a loan, yeah, maybe.
But the thing is, I can see,
I wouldn't cough up the million.
I can see Brentford with all their injuries moving on from Ivan Toney and just getting, because his contract ends in a
end of the
year.
Yeah.
No, end of next season.
Okay, yeah.
So basically this is the last chance they have to sell him, or they lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
I could see that team looking to part ways to get as much as they can, and calling this season a dud.
Yeah, maybe a loan buy, but if it's the buy, I still say no. I'll wait until the next season, and then you have more options. Like I said with Victor Osimhen, I wouldn't do that specifically. I personally wouldn't take the gamble.
I mean, but you guys are
and another
lacking,
reason why I say that is because also the way the season is happening, Man City bottling points, I could see possibly Liverpool bottling points because, like you said, they leave it for that last minute.
Yeah,
I can see Aston Villa bottling points. Like, so to say we're out of it, no, I think we're still in it. I wouldn't.
No,
spend
I'm not saying you're out of it. I'm saying that if you're Arsenal,
yes,
you guys have top 5 best attack in the league. If you
attacking
add
trio, yep,
with Jesus, who's been in and out with a knee problem, if you put a healthy Ivan Toney in there, and he gives you whatever more than Eddie Nketiah, you are over the moon, and you guys are lifting that trophy in March. I mean,
but
June.
The key word there is if.
No. Every football is if.
If it is, and I personally wouldn't take that risk. I wouldn't take that risk. I'm sorry. Call me a safe better or whatever it is. I'm not taking that risk.
All right. If you don't go Ivan Toney, I could see this team going Solanke again.
I wouldn't even want Solanke.
No, of course.
I definitely don't want Solanke.
I'm just giving options out there. I'm just saying that a striker.
I'd rather stay with Nketiah than Solanke. I'm being so real with you.
That man's a baller, man.
Why did Liverpool send him in the beginning? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm just saying that man is a baller. He knows how to get goals, and he knows his way around the goal, man. So third place, Man City.
Man City. Wow. Honestly, I'm gonna put B tier.
A tier.
I'm gonna say B because of what we expected them to do and they didn't do.
A tier. They are literally breathing on our necks. They are breathing on our necks, man.
They're not really.
They are 2 points. No. Okay. They are 3 points away from second place.
Okay. Arsenal.
Sorry, 2 points away from second place, right?
Arsenal is 2 points from second place as well. So why didn't you say
they
Arsenal's
have a game in
breathing on your
hand?
leg?
They have a game in hand. Since you want to,
Yeah, you do. I know you got
since
that.
you want to be smart.
No, you got that.
They
you
got a
that.
game. They got a game in hand.
All right, you got that. Yeah, you
That's
got
what
that.
I'm saying. And
that.
they haven't had Kevin De Bruyne, which is,
I think he's coming back too.
yes, he was spotted. What's it called? Warming up during their last game, and he got a bunch of cheers from the crowd. I think that once they get back De Bruyne,
It's over.
not that it's over, but they're gonna be.
Don't lose a game because it's all 1 and 2 points.
It's a possibility. But we got 5 points on them now, and they have a game in hand. They are literally breathing on our necks. I don't care if it's 5 points. I don't care if there's still points to be fought over. They're breathing on our necks.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing is though, De Bruyne coming back. If he comes back, let's say the next game, which I don't know when he comes back. If he comes back, the next game is against Newcastle. So we're gonna see how that goes.
Newcastle hasn't been great recently.
Yes, I know, but that's gonna be a tougher task. You know what I mean? He's gonna come off the bench or he's gonna start. It's gonna be a tough
Even
ask.
better if he comes off the bench. He doesn't have to work. They'll probably be like 2, 3 up, and then they can just do their thing.
Assumedly 2 or 3 up.
Assumedly,
Assumedly 2 up because Newcastle, I don't think that you should sleep on them because they have dog in them.
No, for sure. Like I said, they always have the cutting edge of being able to finish a counterattack and being in the face of the team and all that. But um I just think that once they get De Bruyne back, it's gonna be a tough, tough rest of the season for everybody surrounding City.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I was thinking about who to buy for Man City. I would I'm still giving B tier 100%.
That's
But
fair. That's fair.
I honestly think they should buy Bloody, whatever, the left back from Barcelona. You know what I'm talking about, right? How do you say his name?
Balde? Are you
Um,
talking about Balde?
Bloody, yeah, the young guy.
Balde.
Yeah, Balde. I'll buy him because honestly, that back line is the only thing that's missing or whatever. Yo, is that not a W take? Jeez, I'm sorry.
Just the fact that
Because like, all right,
they're breathing down our necks. They're right
yeah,
there, and they have a B tier season from you. It's kind of like yo, like the whole universe gotta like throw the kitchen sink at Man City for them to be
yeah, but no, but Baldi is not like a desperate move. I don't think it's a
no.
desperate
They're
move.
not a desperate club.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
Like,
not in a desperate
I feel like you're
situation.
thinking like Baldi's like a desperate move.
No, hell no,
Not that
hell
at all.
no.
Like, that's not
Hell
what
no.
I'm trying to.
That's like them picking up, being like, hey, like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I think that would be a good shout because, like I said, they got the Garviel, whatever.
Gvardio.
You got Garviel. They have Akanji. They have all these players that can play in the center, and I'll leave that left side for a proper winger. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You get a Kyle-like player on the opposite side.
Yeah,
Obviously not with
so
the strength, but
I got
you
him
know.
at A. You got him at B.
B.
Tomato.
Yeah, okay.
So
But on the list, put B. Damn it.
nah. They're
Nah,
it's
B, damn it.
definitely even though they dropped points, they were ties. They were not the only I don't think did they lose. I mean, obviously they lost against Wolves and no, they have 3 losses. So they are literally right there, man. 3 losses. All right, so
Yeah. Yeah.
we'll go on to second place.
Yeah. It literally just happened right now. Dang, so that 30 minutes was really a thing, huh? Tragic. Yeah. The top one, yeah, that's true too. That's true, yeah. But that's if Opus registers it. Not Opus, you know what I'm talking about.
Get better, man.
All right, now. On to
Second place.
second place, yo.
Second place. Aston Villa. S tier. S tier.
Yeah. S tier.
S tier, man.
S tier. Yeah.
S tier, man. This team, man.
Yeah, honestly, you know
Even though they lost Mings,
Yeah.
like Longley's he's been okay for them. Leon
I
Bailey.
forgot Mings played here. What the heck?
Yeah,
What
he's
a
out. He's injured. He's
successful-
injured.
I honestly think that's a good thing, dang it.
Why?
I never really rated Mings at
All
all.
right, relax.
No, I'm being serious. He was just a tall guy. Like,
All right,
nah,
relax.
man, I never rated him.
Relax. But Leon Bailey is having a
Season to
man.
remember, yeah.
Without Buendia as well. It's Mings and Buendia, like they're out.
Stop saying Mings like he's something. Mings. The heck's a Mings?
No, but in terms of Leon Bailey, they need that from him.
Yeah,
They need that from him.
definitely.
McGinn has had a solid season. He's literally that workhorse midfield. It's so like he's so traditional with it, like the way he does it. He's just like no nonsense. And Musa Diaby is like from I think Leverkusen, He was on Leverkusen, and he's doing so well this
He is,
season.
he is. That was a good signing,
It
actually.
was a really,
Really
really
good
good
signing.
signing, but uh,
So for me, like, you know how I said that Brentford was the worst team,
yeah,
underperformed. I think Aston Villa was the best team and the best performed of the season. You know what I mean? If I had to give
yeah,
the top and the worst, it'd be them two for sure.
yeah.
Aston Villa been great, superb, great run of form, S tier for sure. I would say if I had to pick someone to buy for, I think maybe a striker in Boya or maybe Acuna.
Nah, because
You know what I
I
mean?
feel like Watkins, he's inconsistent, but he
No, no,
has
no.
his
I'm not saying to take your spot. I'm talking about more
to back up.
as a backup. You know what I mean? Like Ivan, like a Wilson and Isaac situation. Like get someone that you know
Oh
what I mean.
yeah, 1 and 2 punch type thing.
So I would get Acuna,
Nah,
maybe
I'm looking for
Wong,
center back. I'm looking for center back to replace Mings. I'm
Mings.
looking, yeah. I mean,
But
they've
how
been
long is Mings out for?
March.
Until March? Oh,
Yeah,
that's towards the end.
March,
Yeah,
April.
that is towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. I personally would get attack. I can see a defense too because Mings is out and you do need something there. But I would get somewhere like Cunha, Wong, or Boya just to bolster attack. But you're right, defense is something too that I should think of. I thought he was going to be back in January, to be honest, or like late January.
I can check that.
Yeah, but
Yeah, give me a second.
yeah, no, go ahead. But yeah, I'd say someone like a 1-2 punch, Acuna, because I think Acuna is class and he does produce a lot. I think he's class for the club that he is in Wolves. Like I think he's very class over there. Him and Sarabia, but I would say him if not Wong, because he is a high rated work person. Like he has a high attack. Like he does do work. Or Boya, you know what I mean. Granted that he is in that failing
He's
Chelsea
out for
side,
the
but
rest of the
yeah,
season.
yeah.
Mings
So
is out for the rest of the
I could
season.
definitely see a center back. I
Yeah.
can see a definitely center back.
Yeah, that's probably I think I looked up the duration and I was just like it
Yeah, they need something.
might
Yeah.
as well, like, he's going to be going for the rest of the season. Defense is not, obviously Man United has shown defense is not a place where you want to
Messing around with,
be
yeah.
thin at, like you don't want any of that. Um
But yeah, everywhere else, I especially like their midfield with Kamara and all that. Like the options, Ramsey, all their options in midfield is great. Defense, like you said,
and they're well coached.
exactly. Defense is like that problem, and then maybe offense for a 1-2 punch. But I do agree with you. I think defense comes first. You should prioritize that.
Yep. And on to the last team, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
I got him A tier.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, I thought honestly you put S because of first place, but
Nah, we lost Robertson, so it's been, I can't say it's an tier
yeah,
season. There's just so much that he adds to this team defensively and with grit in terms of physicality. And in the midfield we've had injuries with
even with
Alec
defense with Jogon, I mean Matip.
yeah, having
Yeah,
to put Matip in there has been a,
but he's been injured. He got injured not too long ago.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
but even then he wasn't really given too much.
yeah.
Um, but again, the teams we've lost we've lost quite a few to injury. The midfield's been busted up because of the McAllister injury.
Injury, yep.
Um,
Sabasai is in and out.
yeah, and
Gravenberg in and
yeah,
out. Yeah,
Gravenberg's in and out. He's having, I feel like Gravenberg's having a little tough of a time
adjusting.
adjusting
Yeah,
to the game.
I definitely agree.
Um,
I definitely do give him A tier. I don't just and on top of that, like you said, vintage Liverpool. You know
yeah,
what I
we
mean?
leave it late.
That to me like separates A and C. Is one of the big reasons.
A and S.
A and S. I mean, yeah, sorry. So honestly speaking, for me, who I have for you guys to buy, is gonna be Ba from Benfica. You know, um, I actually think he's a good player. I think Benfica is not going to hold him for 2 years. But a more that you're going to probably vibe with Maserati from Bayern Munich because he can play both sides and he's great attacking, especially for I believe his country of Morocco. And then I put in a little twist, Benjamin Pavard. You know what I mean? Because yes, he can play right back and he can play in the center as well. So I think those three players, either or, would be nice.
Yeah,
I think Maserati though, I would lean more toward them.
because when I look at this team, I don't. We have options up top. We have a decent selection in terms of the midfield, especially with McAllister coming
Yep.
back.
Yeah, no,
It's
midfield you're definitely solid on. You have Gravenbergs,
Endo's having a good season.
Endo, you have
Um,
Curtis
but he's gonna be
Jones,
gone. He's gonna be gone for the next 3 games though for the
Asian
Asian
Cup,
Cup.
yeah. But you still have Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones has been pretty good this season.
Pretty. I give him 75 or higher, like rating wise. It's been more than
He's
pretty
been.
good.
I mean,
in my
I was
opinion.
never like a big Curtis Jones fan. I was
Yeah, he
more
was
of an
more Elliott fan. Yeah, I
more of
know,
an
yeah.
Elliott guy, you know.
Yeah.
But Curtis Jones
Fair
has
enough.
he has impressed me this
Yeah.
season.
Any specific names you thinking of buying?
I just want Robertson back, man.
No, I mean,
I just
yeah.
want Robertson back, man.
But nothing in the meantime, nothing.
I feel like Konate has some moments where he's just not there. We might need a center back, but I
Yeah.
feel like at this point it would be very dangerous to get a center back that's not tried and tested, um,
In the Premier League. Yeah.
who's been through the fire. Because if we can get another center back who who's like who's 100%, because sometimes Konate looks insecure in his skin, like, you know, like he just doesn't seem to. I don't know how to explain it, but like he's just not all there, you know, or he'll
Yeah.
make a mistake or he'll lose
That's how I feel.
concentration.
That's how I feel about Joe Gomez.
The thing with Joe Gomez is he knows that he's not first team quality, but he'll go in and he'll give you his all.
best. Yeah.
That's why I enjoy Joe Gomez. I don't really find too much, you know, I don't find too much criticism with him because he knows his spot in the team.
Yeah.
And he doesn't
He's
try
not
to
delusional.
he doesn't try to do too much. But really missing Robertson and having to switch who we put there. We put Tsimikas there. We put Joe Gomez there. We switch up. And we look for different, you know, different options. And it's without Robertson there, it's really tough for this team because he's very physical. And he's very vocal out there. So it's tough to find a replacement for him.
It's gonna be a tough thing to ask for, but does your earlier seeing how the season progressed and how we are in the halfway season, and then knowing what your preseason prediction is, do you still hold true with that?
In terms of us winning?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we have a squad to
carry
win.
you through?
It's tough to say if we have a squad that can carry us through. It's been a squad that has gotten us to this point so far. Give me a second. Just want to make sure I am okay. Okay, yeah. So he's out until February. If we can get him back and he is 100%, yeah, I think we could win the Premier League. Not to say that he's some sort of like linchpin of, you know, our team. We have other players that are great and that are physical, that are vocal, that are leaders. But Robertson, you know, he's important to the team, and I can't deny that.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so a center back, and I mean, because the Klopp's shifted the way we've played, so I trust Klopp that he'll make the right decisions in terms of how he shifts the team. And obviously, now when, you know, nowadays with formations, nothing is set in stone. Everything is fluid and people move around.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that you know, the club knows what they're doing. So I just gotta the club and Klopp know what they're doing. So I just gotta trust what they do.
Trust the system, trust the process.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I got them
much.
at A tier. I couldn't give them S.
C tier.
I could not give them S.
Yeah.
I had to be for real. Like there was no, other than Villa, there was no S tier team.
S tier. Do you think Villa has the capabilities to go first?
To get first?
Yeah.
I mean, they're well coached, and you never know, because you know, like you said, we leave it so late.
Yeah. Situational type shit. Like it's all situational.
But
like,
you know, obviously, there has to be a point where quality reigns. And so if I look at Villa and I look at City, I got to take City. If I look at Villa and I look at Liverpool, I got to take Liverpool. I look at Villa and look at Arsenal, I got to take Arsenal.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
looking at a paper standpoint.
if I look at their teams, I got to take Arsenal, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Arsenal is
But if
no
let's take
Arsenal can be
performance, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, no facts. It's forms. It's form. But when I look at their team and how teams perform, how you guys have performed this season, I can't put Villa over you guys. You guys may be under Villa right now, but trust me, you guys are right in there, and you guys are breathing on their neck. Yeah, as soon as they mess up, you guys are gonna be right there
Right
to
there to
capitalize.
pounce, yeah.
So I have to look at you guys, and I have to look at City, and I have to look at us, and I have to look at
West End.
actually no, not West Ham. Maybe Spurs,
Maybe,
Spurs too.
yeah, I think Saracens maybe, yeah.
But I gotta be honest, but I think that Villa so far this season they've been playing great, so I have to give them S tier.
Is there? I don't know on the top of your head, your prediction wise, is your last three still the last three? I think so too. My last three is still my last three.
I had Everton going out, I think.
I think I have Everton. Maybe they stay up, but I think it's still.
I'm not too
I still
sure.
think there's bottom four in my opinion.
I'm not too sure about where I had Everton and
I think I had them dead last.
Yeah, wherever I had them, there will be that bottom four.
Yeah.
Everton will be fighting with them.
No, I had Burnley, Everton, Sheffield, and Luton. So those bottom four, I think, still on my bottom four.
They are completely interchangeable.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about in terms of the best coaches this season, or are you not trying to do that right now?
Nah.
I mean, you don't want to go over it, make a podcast list.
I mean,
yeah, we can make a podcast list.
I thought that was the 30 minutes that you were telling me about.
Is it?
Yeah, isn't that what you wanted?
No,
that is the one was the 30-minute.
No, it was something completely different.
No, it was the tiers, the A, the S tier.
No, not for that was for all the coaches. That wasn't just for the top 5.
Oh, okay. You want to do the
just top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
All right. So
this season, Steve Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah. He's number 1. Who's Steve Cooper? What is he? Where does he coach?
You're right.
Where is he coaching?
All right. So
I don't see him in the Premier League. What team does he? Where?
All right. I'm gonna go number 1, Klopp.
Let me look at the top 5 real quick.
I'm gonna go Klopp for number 1.
You put him number 1? Are you being serious? Or are you just like? Let's be honest now. There's no way you're putting him at A tier and then still putting him at number 1.
You don't tell me what I can do.
I know you don't tell me what I can do. That is valid. Ain't nobody can tell you what to do but Jesus. And even then, you don't have to do it. But you'll be swallowed by a fish.
Hell no. What?
You won't?
Swallowed by a fish?
Jonah, man. Ask Jonah.
Swallowed by a fish.
Ask Jonah when he didn't go to Nineveh. All right. So for me, honestly, I would put Unai Emery 1.
No. Let's go over this methodically, okay?
All right,
let's start at 5. Let's make it difficult.
Not difficult. It makes it easier, if anything.
What do you mean? That you leave a lot of things on the table, and you gotta make this. You know what? All right, go. Let's go number 1.
No, 3.
You think
you might as well go 3.
You
might as well go 5 and put Arteta.
You think Arteta is 5?
5 or 4?
Okay. I'm going Postecoglou 5.
I'm going Postecoglou 4.
Okay. I'm going Arteta.
Just because he reinvented the wheel, then Arteta.
He reinvented the wheel.
He reinvented the wheel in Tottenham.
Okay, I'm going.
So he did more changes there than Arteta.
Okay, I'm going Ange Postecoglou. Number 5, I'm going Arteta.
4.
I'm going.
Who's 4?
Arteta.
Okay, so 5 Post, 4 Arteta.
And I'm going Unai Emery 3. I'm going Unai Emery 3.
All right. No. I'll take, but it's okay.
Maybe. Oh wow. And maybe he makes me eat that. But
I hope he does.
I
hope he does.
I will gladly eat that if he.
I hope you come in fifth.
Proves me wrong, but top 2 Klopp, 2 Pep, 1.
1.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah,
see,
Pep,
all right.
Pep
So
1,
I'm
yeah.
different than you. I'm going by this season alone. I guess you're going by history. At least I'm assuming you are. But for me, 5 Arteta, 4 Post, 3 I'm going City, 2 Klopp, 1 Unai Emery.
Okay.
That's
All right.
me.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's me. Just off of this season alone.
Nah, but off the strength, I gotta give it to Pep, man.
Yeah,
He's
but
just,
I'm going by this season.
it's
If I
just
was going overall, of course, Pep takes the cake.
yeah.
There's no one in the Premier League that rivals Pep. if I was gonna go by
I mean,
history,
there's Klopp, you know.
does not rival Pep. I'm sorry.
I hope he makes you eat that, man.
Well,
I hope he makes you eat
no.
that. Shit.
You think Klopp? No.
I hope he makes
I'm
you.
confident that it will not make me eat that. I'm confident.
All right, whatever.
I'm that confident. You think Klopp can pull? No disrespect. You think Klopp can pull a treble?
We almost had a quadruple.
Oh my!
We almost had a
gosh.
quadruple. What are you
Yo.
talking about?
Yeah, exactly. If you win Europa League and then you win the Super Cup. Yo, you said I always want